Moscow is the largest city in Europe and the single most populous city in the European continent, with an official population just under 13 million, but in reality it's about 19. This is a multicultural and multinational city. Some reports indicate that only 2% of Moscow's population are actually from Moscow, meaning have grandparents that hail from the city. My mom and dad are both moved to Moscow in the 20s from other regions. About half of Moscow's population comes from other cities in Russia, and another immigrants from nearby countries, mostly ex-Soviet Union. This is a beautiful city with a lot of to do. In fact, there are more than 400 museums, almost 50 parks and forests, more than 700 public gardens and boulevards, and thousands of bars and restaurants to entertain you at night. Hello my lovely people, welcome to my Holiday Addict channel. My name is Marina and this is the third episode of my series about Russia, about Moscow. So you got there, you found a place to stay, now you get around the city. So the best way, it's of course public transport, because Moscow is notorious for its traffic. Of course you can use a taxi, it's very cheap in Moscow, but it probably take you a lot longer to get where you need to get. I give you a little example. Was back in the 90s when I used to live in Moscow, I was working in the center of Moscow. If I used to take underground or public transport, it took me 20 minutes to get to work, but if I decide to drive, it could take me up to 2 hours. So, underground or metro, how it's called in Moscow, it's your choice. It's very cheap, it's very efficient. I paid about £5 for a 3-day pass. Use it as long as you want. You can go around any stations, you can go anywhere where the underground can take you. So let's see what the Moscow underground looks like, what the metro is. But before we go any further, I would like to give you a little reminder. Please subscribe to my channel, don't forget to like this video and press that bell button that you don't miss any other videos about Moscow in Russia. So let's go! The Moscow Metro was built in 1930s, so it's quite young and neither the oldest, nor the deepest, nor the largest in the world, but it is certainly the most beautiful. Many stations are decorated with themed panels, mosaic, chandeliers, sculptures and stained glass windows. It looks more like an underground museum than a metro station. There are stations that may be interest to paleontologists, as some of the marble slabs used to decorate many stations have the potential to reveal fossils if you look closely enough. So the Moscow Metro itself is a tourist attraction, and you even can book an excursion just around the metro. Komsomolskaya station is without a doubt the most pompous one. Here you feel like you're somewhere on a dance hall in a castle. The author of the station is none other than Alexei Sushev, who also built Lenin's mausoleum on the Red Square. The Moscow Metro is the cleanest underground in the world. Station cleaned and disinfected daily. Almost 50% of Moscow Metro's fleet is equipped with UV lamps integrated into the climate control system to disinfect the air, and it's really needed because about 9 million passengers ride the Moscow Metro a day. It is also the most efficient in the world. The trains here pull in during rush hours at 80-second intervals, pausing for 30 seconds to pick up and discharge passengers. The Kievsky station is dedicated to Ukraine and the country's union with Russia, And the end of the station is a massive panel of people celebrating the 300th anniversary of the union between Ukraine and Russia. This one, if you come closer, it's a mosaic, little stones. And it says Friendship Russian and Ukrainian workers. I mean, look, even the station name looks lovely. I mean, look closely. What kind of work been put in? Huh? This is all tiles. You can see some of it come off of it. And it's a gilding. You can see this all the time. Delivery from any restaurant to any part of Moscow, and they use underground station because it's much faster. Even though only Soviet workers and volunteers were employed in constructing the tracks and the stations, the metro system itself was designed by British specialists who had previously designed the London Underground. Stalin ordered the arrest of many British engineers because they had gained so much inside knowledge about city's subway system. The engineers were eventually deported, but wherever business climate existed between Britain and Soviet Union were effectively killed. Have you been ever anywhere where underground you have a big monument and all use the proper armor to decorate it? This is the Partizanskaya station, and this is a monument to partisans who fight in the Second World War against the Nazis. Back when it was Soviet Union, especially after Second World War, around 50s and 60s, Soviet Union was terrified about nuclear war and nuclear weapons. So I even remember myself when I was at school, they used to taught us how to use gas masks, what to do if the nuclear attacks or anything like that, because they're really terrified of a nuclear war. And you can understand why. When other countries had the propaganda against the Soviet Union, against how horrible they are and they can attack and they can start nuclear war, this is all was just a propaganda, just a threat. But in Soviet Union, this was a real threat, because the biggest enemy of Soviet Union back then was America, and they did use it after in the Second World War against Japan, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. This is why Soviet Union thought it was a real threat. You're probably thinking, what is this story has anything to do with the Moscow Underground, with Moscow Metro? And I will explain you why I'm telling you this story. In the Second World War, many stations was used as a bomb shelter, and after the war, government planned to do so again. So in the case of nuclear attack, some of the stations which was built after World War II has a hermetic door. Subway hermetic seals. Station has like Chekhovskaya, Timiryazevskaya, Dubrovskaya and some others. Until this day, a special training happened time to time to make sure that it's all in a working order and Nami knows how to use them. Here is quiet, I can talk a bit better. As you can see on the floor, you see those circles? And this is the door. So in case of nuclear war or any other war, this door closed like this and is completely locked. If you're in one of the stations, you might can hear a tropical bird noise. No, it's not your imagination. This noise was created to scare the pigeons who saw this statue inside. So the noise is supposed to scare them away. This underground station, named after Fyodor Dostoevsky, the man himself, opened in 2010. I tried to film before between trains because they come in every 2 minutes. Obviously, it's a theme of all the stations. It's a scenes from a book, Dostoevsky book. Idiot, Bratya Karamazov, and all others. This one is Crime and Punishment. This is just a little glimpse of all the stations I visited. You can spend days and days, hours and hours, travel around underground and enjoy all the beautiful train stations. But what do you think? Which Moscow metro station are the most beautiful? Have you visited? Let me know which one impressed you most. Thank you for watching. Again, don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I see you next time. До свидания for now.